In some cases, the article may state DN, which strictly refers to the city proper, that is, excluding the surrounding Santo Domingo Province. Santo Domingo, known officially as Santo Domingo de Guzmán, is the capital and largest city in the Dominican Republic and is the largest city in the Caribbean region by population. In 2010, Santo Domingo had a population of 965,040, with the metropolitan area reaching a total of 2,907,100. The city lies within the boundaries of the Distrito Nacional, itself bordered on three sides by Santo Domingo Province. Founded by Bartholomew Columbus in 1496, on the east bank of the Ozama River and then moved by Nicolas de Ovando in 1502 to the west bank of the river, the city is the oldest continuously inhabited European settlement in the Americas, and was the first seat of Spanish colonial rule in the New World. Santo Domingo is the site of the first university, cathedral, castle, monastery, and fortress in the New World. The city's colonial zone was declared as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. Santo Domingo was called Ciudad Trujillo, from 1936 to 1961, after the Dominican Republic's dictator, Rafael Trujillo, named the capital after himself. Following his assassination, the city resumed its original designation. Santo Domingo is the cultural, financial, political, commercial and industrial center of the Dominican Republic, with the county unregistered trademark's most important industries being located within the city. Santo Domingo also serves as the chief seaport of the country. The city's harbor at the mouth of the Ozama River accommodates the largest vessels, and the port handles both heavy passenger and freight traffic. History. Before the arrival of Christopher Columbus in 1492, the Taino people populated the island which they called Quisquia and Haiti, and which Columbus named Hispaniola, including the territory of today's Republic of Haiti. At the time, the island's territory consisted of 5 chiefdoms: Maria copyright N, Magua, Maguana, Jaragua, and Higa 1/4 I. These were ruled respectively by Caciques Guicanagorix, Guarianex, Canabo, Boecholo, and Caracoa. Dating from 1496, when the Spanish settled there, and officially from August 5, 1498, Santo Domingo is the oldest European city in the Americas. Bartholomew Columbus founded the settlement and named it La Nueva Isabella, after an earlier settlement in the north named after the Queen of Spain Isabella I. In 1495 it was renamed Santo Domingo, in honor of Saint Dominic. Santo Domingo came to be known as the gateway to the Caribbean, and the chief town in Hispaniola from then on. Expeditions which led to Ponce de Leeuwen's colonization of Puerto Rico, Diego Vila Zquez de Cuay copyrightless colonization of Cuba, Hernando Cortés' conquest of Mexico, and Vasco Naa ± de Balboa's sighting of the Pacific Ocean were all launched from Santo Domingo. In June 1502, Santo Domingo was destroyed by a major hurricane, and the new governor Nicolas de Ovando had it rebuilt on a different site on the other side of the Ozama River. The original layout of the city and a large portion of its defensive wall can still be appreciated today throughout the colonial zone, declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. In 1586, Francis Drake captured the city and held it for ransom. Drake's invasion signaled the decline of Spanish dominion over Hispaniola, which was accentuated in the early 17th century by policies that resulted in the depopulation of most of the island outside the capital. An expedition sent by Oliver Cromwell in 1655 attacked the city of Santo Domingo, but was defeated. The English troops withdrew and took the less guarded colony of Jamaica, instead. In 1697, the Treaty of Ryswick included the acknowledgement by Spain of France's dominion over the western third of the island, now Haiti. From 1795 to 1822 the city changed hands several times along with the colony it headed. The city was ceded to France in 1795 after years of struggles. It was briefly captured by Haitian rebels in 1801, recovered by France in 1802, and was once again reclaimed by Spain in 1809. In 1821 Santo Domingo became the capital of an independent nation after the Criollo bourgeois within the country, led by Jose copyright now plus or minus his Dakar series, overthrew the Spanish crown. The nation was unified with Haiti just 2 months later. The city and the colony lost much of their Spanish-born peninsular population as a result of these events, which caused a great deal of instability and unrest. On February 27, 1844, Santo Domingo was again the capital of a free nation, when it gained its independence from Haitian occupation, led by Dominican nationalist Juan Pablo Duarte. The city was a prize fought over by various political factions over the succeeding decades of instability. In addition, the country had to fight multiple battles with Haiti. The Battle of March 19, Battle of March 30, Battle of Las Carreras, and Battle of Bella, are a few of the most prominent encounters, mentioned in the national anthem and with city streets named after them. In 1861 Spain returned to the country, having struck a bargain with Dominican dictator Pedro Santana whereby the latter was granted several honorific titles and privileges, in exchange for annexing the young nation back to Spanish rule. The Dominican Restoration War began in 1863 however, and in 1865 the country was free again after Spain withdrew. Over the next two-thirds of a century Santo Domingo and the Dominican Republic went through many revolutions, power changes, and occupation by the United States, 1916–24. The city was struck by Hurricane San Zenecube in 1930, which caused major damage. After its rebuilding, Santo Domingo was known officially as Ciudad Trujillo in honor of dictator Rafael Le'Cube Nieves Trujillo, who governed from 1930. Following his assassination in 1961 the city was renamed back to Santo Domingo. It was the scene of street fighting during the 1965 United States occupation of the Dominican Republic. The year 1992 marked the 500th anniversary, El Quinto Centenario, of Christopher Columbus' discovery of America. The Columbus Lighthouse Faro Cola Cube was erected in Santo Domingo in honor of this occasion, with an approximate cost of 400 million Dominican pesos. Geography. The Ozama River flows 148 kilometers before emptying into the Caribbean Sea. Santo Domingo's position on its banks was of great importance to the city's economic development and the growth of trade during colonial times. The Ozama River is where the country's busiest port is located. Climate. The average temperature in Santo Domingo varies little, because the tropical trade winds help mitigate the heat and humidity throughout the year. Thanks to these trade winds, Santo Domingo has a tropical climate but seldom experiences the oppressive heat and humidity that one may expect to find. December and January are the coolest months and July and August are the warmest. Santo Domingo averages 1,445 millimeters of rain annually. Its driest months are from November through April, however, due to the trade winds and mountains to the southwest, rain is seen even during these months. Because its driest month is just below 60 millimeters, Santo Domingo falls under the tropical monsoon climate category under the CAR paragraph PPEN climate classification. Like many other cities in the Caribbean, Santo Domingo is very susceptible to hurricanes. The lowest recorded temperature has been 13.0 degrees Celsius and the highest 39.5 degrees Celsius. Population. The demographics of Santo Domingo are similar to other metropolitan areas of the country, except that the population of illegal immigrants is larger in the city because of the relative ease of finding work and the economic dynamism compared to other provinces. Santo Domingo, like most of the country, is made up of native-born Dominican mulattoes, though there are large numbers of Afro-Dominicans and Euro-Dominicans, as well as a large immigrant community. In fact, over 20% of the city's population is immigrants, mainly Haitians. However, there are also recent immigrants from Europe, Asia, as well as other Latin American nations present in the city. The city of Santo Domingo has a significant community of Asians, Arabs, and Europeans are also present in the city. There are also significant numbers of Jamaicans and Puerto Ricans in the city, as well as U.S.-born Dominicans returning to their parents' home country. The northeast quadrant of the city is the poorest while the southwest is wealthier. Santo Domingo is also considered one of the epicenters of the growing Dominican middle class. The city is one of most economically developed cities in Latin America. Santo Domingo's population in 2010 was 3.8 million in the metropolitan area. Government and politics. Santo Domingo is the center of the national government of the Dominican Republic. The President's Office and Ministries, National Congress, Supreme Court of Justice, and other main government institutions are located in the metropolitan area. The city is administered by the Ayuntamiento del Distrito Nacional, which is responsible for municipal functions. The current mayor of Santo Domingo is Roberto Esma Copyright Rito Salcido, of the governing Dominican Liberation Party. The Policía Nacional and Policía Turística are tasked with enforcing city safety. Economy. The city is the center of economic activity in the Dominican Republic. It is where most of the country wealth is concentrated since it is the main sector where everything related to politics occurs. Many national and international firms have their headquarters or regional offices in Santo Domingo. The city attracts many international firms and franchises such as Gold Corp and Barrick due to its geographic location and economic stability. The infrastructure is adequate for most business operations, however, power outages continue to be a problem in certain parts of the city. A key element that has helped the city grow and compete globally is the telecommunications infrastructure. In recent years, the Dominican Republic has enjoyed a modern telecommunications system due to its privatization and integration with the U.S. systems. The city's economic growth is very noticeable in the increased building towers, shopping malls, highways, and the increase in commercial activity. Santo Domingo has a great social divide ranging from the extremely poor to the very rich. Areas of high-income families are found in the central polygon of the city, which is bordered by the Avenida John F. Kennedy northward, February 27th Avenue south, Avenida Winston Churchill to the west and Avenida Máximo Gómez Mes to the east, and is characterized by its mostly residential area and its very active nightlife. Santo Domingo has areas of high development, among them Cerros, Naco, Arroyo Hondo, Piantini, Herb Fernandez, Ensign Juliet, Paradise, The Prairies, Los Prados, Bella Vista, Sarasota and other sectors, which consist mostly of costly buildings and luxury houses, contrasting with the outskirts of the city as Guile and Capital, which are less economically developed. Bella Vista and La Esparilla are currently the fastest growing sectors with large mega projects. Gatesview belongs to the more traditional southeastern area of the city and is known for its buildings dating from the 1930s to the 1960s. The city's shopping centers are located primarily on Avenida Winston Churchill, where there are places such as Acropolis Center, Blue Mall, and large supermarkets. It is also the home of the largest commercial banks, such as Banco Popular Dominicano, Scotiabank, Citibank, Banco BHD, Banco del Progreso, Banreservas, among others. February 27th Avenue is very commercially successful and is considered the most important avenue of the city. The oldest malls in the country are Plaza Central and Plaza Naco, the latter served as the first shopping center in the city. Bella Vista Mall is one of the newest malls built in the city, which attracts many high-income families. The city has established securities markets in the late 90s. Commercial centers, landmarks. Many of Santo Domingo's most notable landmarks are located within the Zona Colonial district of the city, a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1990. The Colonial Zone, bordered by the Rio Ozama, also has an impressive collection of 16th-century buildings, including palatial houses and majestic churches that reflect the architectural style of the late medieval period. The city's most important colonial buildings include the Catedral Santa Maria la Mina, called La Catedral Primada de Arma Copyright Rica, America's first cathedral, which states its distinction. The Alcázar de Colón, America's first castle, once the residence of Viceroy of the Indies Don Diego Colón, a son of Christopher Columbus. The Monasterio de San Francisco, the ruins of the first monastery in the Americas. The Museo de los Reales, in a monumental complex that includes the former Palace of the Governors and the building of the former Royal Audiencia of Santo Domingo. The Fortaleza Ozama, the oldest fortress in the Americas. The Panta copyright on Nacional, a former Jesuit edifice now hosting the remains of various renowned Dominicans. And the Dominican Convent, the first convent in the Americas. Just outside the fortifications is Puerta del Conde's the Altar de la Patria, erected in 1976 as a monument to the heroes of the country's independence in 1844. Outside of the Ciudad Colonial, the Ďoʻmiŋɡo is a vibrant commercial and touristic area, marked by major hotels and several Trujillo-era monuments including a large obelisk located at the eastern end of George Washington Avenue. Other places of cultural interest are Plaza de la Cultura, which houses the city's most important cultural venues, including the Teatro Nacional and various museums. The Palacio Nacional, which houses the Presidency of the Dominican Republic. The Palacio de Bellas Artes, a neoclassical building that is the permanent home of the country's National Symphony Orchestra. And the Boulevard 27 de Febrero, a pedestrian promenade located on the busy Avenida 27 de Febrero, which displays works of art from prominent Dominican artists and sculptors. Another attraction is the Centro Olímpico Juan Pablo Duarte, a sports complex in the center of Santo Domingo. This complex was used during the 2003 Pan American Games. Museums. Santo Domingo is the location of numerous museums, many of which are located in the Zona Colonial district. In the Zona Colonial is the Museum of Alcazar, in Diego Colón's restored palace, the Museum of the Casas Reales, with artifacts of the colonial period and a collection of ancient weapons donated by Trujillo, the Naval Museum of the Atarazanas, in the former naval yards, Museo de la Catedral, Museo Memorial de la Resistencia Dominicana, documenting the struggle for freedom during the regimes of Trujillo and Balaguer, Museo Duarte, dedicated to the hero of Dominican independence, and the World of Ambar Museum. In the Plaza de la Cultura are the Museum of the Dominican Man, with artifacts from the pre-Columbian Torno civilization, the National Museum of History and Geography, the Museum of Natural History and the Museum of Modern Art. Other museums include the Museo Bella Parte, a prominent private collection of 19th and 20th century Dominican painting and sculpture, and the Museo Prehispanico, a major private collection of pre-Columbian Torno art. Parks and recreational areas. The city has various parks, many of which are relatively large. Santo Domingo is surrounded by the Santo Domingo Green Belt. Mirador Norte Park lies in the north of the city, close to Villa Mella, and Mirador Sur Park is located in the southwest section of the city. Mirador del Este is located on the east bank of the Ozama River and it is the seat of the Columbus Lighthouse. Independencia Park and Cola Cubden Park are located in Zona Colonial. Other notable parks include, Park Enriquillo, Park Independencia, Park Metropolitano Las Praderas, El Melco Cubden, Jardín en Botánico Nacional, Park Zoológico Nacional, Barrio Chino de Santo Domingo, Park Nahua ± de Caceres, Health, Education. There are 18 universities in Santo Domingo, the highest number of any city in the Dominican Republic. Established in 1538, the Universidad Autónoma de Santo Domingo is the oldest university in the Americas and is also the only public university in the city. Santo Domingo holds the nation's highest percentage of residents with a higher education degree. Other universities include, Universidad Adventista Dominicana, Universidad APEC, Instituto Tecnológico de Santo Domingo, Universidad del Caribe, Universidad Iberoamericana, Universidad Católica Santo Domingo, Universidad de la Tercera Edad, Universidad Tecnológica de Santiago, Universidad Nacional Pedro Henriquez Urrea ± Instituto de Ciencias Exactas, Universidad Organización Cubana Mar Copyright Todo, Universidad Interamericana, Universidad Eugenio Mara de Hostos, Universidad Francisco Henriquez y Carvajal, Universidad Instituto Cultural Dominico Americano, Pontificia and Universidad Católica Madre Maestra, Instituto Tecnológico de las Américas, Universidad de Psicología Industrial Dominicana, Transportation. Roads and highways. Santo Domingo is the terminus for 4 of the 5 national highways. The city is connected with the southwest of the republic by the National Highway Drive 2, and with the cities of the country's northwest by Drive 1, which serves as a direct link to the city of Santiago de los Caballeros. Dr. 3 connects Santo Domingo directly to the east of the country, including the cities of San Pedro de Macorís, La Romana, and major tourist sites such as Punta Cana and Bávaro, and to the Samana province via the Samana Highway. In the city, motoconchos, guaguas voladoras, and carros públicos conchos are common modes of transport. Main avenues. John F. Kennedy, the National District crosses from east to west in the north-central part. The track is composed of a total of 10 tracks, 5 on each side. The 2 center lanes of the road are express lanes to facilitate transit, and the city has several crosses as elevated and uneven steps. February 27, the National District crosses from east to west in the central part of all Santo Domingo. Start at the Puente Juan Bosch and crossing all the city until you reach the roundabout at the Plaza de la Bandera, which extends into the town of Santo Domingo West and ends on the Dirt Highway. The pathway is composed of 10 lanes total, 5 on each side. The 4 lanes in the center of the track are express that facilitate transit city from east to west, with several crosses as elevated, overpasses and tunnels. Also, the rails beside the sidewalks are exclusive bus and the others are local lanes. Boulevard extends from Independence Park to the junction with the Avenue Winston Churchill. In its entirety, this avenue is composed of 2 local lanes one-way east-west. Independencia extends from the intersection with Avenida Gregorio Luperón to Independence Park. The route consists of a total of 4 lanes from crossing with Ave G. Luperón to the intersection of Avenida Italia. From the junction with Ave Italy until Independence Park Avenue becomes one-way eastbound and contains only 2 lanes. George Washington is popularly known as El Malecón, is the avenue forming part of the coast of the city. The avenue extends from Palo Hincado Street to the intersection with Lincoln Avenue. From that point to the Jaina River Highway May 30 extends also includes President Bilney Walk, which starts in Palo Hincado Street and joins the Avenida del Puerto along the western bank of the Ozama River. Throughout its length the road is composed of 4 lanes. In this street you can find the most exclusive hotels in the city, several casinos, the impressive mixed complex Malecón Center, the obelisk and Eugenio Mara Hosto Park. Very popular for the celebration of Carnival. Winston Churchill extends from Kennedy Avenue to Avenida 27 de Febrero, there continues as Avenida Jimenez Moya to reach the Centro de los Heroes and finally the boardwalk. This pathway is distinguished by its date palms that are planted in the sidewalks. Throughout its length the road is composed of 6 lanes and a large wooded median popularly known as the Churchill Boulevard, and within this the Boulevard of Stars. Abraham Lincoln extends from Kennedy Avenue to the seawall. The route consists of 6 lanes and a mean cane palms. Throughout this avenue are located several buildings, clubs, restaurants and shops. Ortega y Gasset extends from the Paseo de los Reyes Católicos Avenue until February 27. The track is composed of 4 lanes, 2 in each side. This road is the Olympic Center and the Plaza de la Salud. Tiradentes extends from the jetty in the south, through the Autonomous University of Santo Domingo. Keep going north along Febrero 27, Avenue John F. Kennedy, and continuing north on the Quisqueya Stadium and reach to Zoo. Luperón extends from Kennedy Avenue to Highway May 30 on the western edge of Santo Domingo. The track consists of 8 lanes, 4 on each side and a median arboleda. Local attractions located in this strip includes Galístico Center Herrera Industrial Zone, and the Plaza de la Bandera. Mas Imo Gar Cubed Mes extends from the bridge to the Malecón Pinedo President. The track is composed of 4 lanes, 2 in each side. Major buildings and points of interest that can be found in this way are National Cemetery, Plaza de la Cultura which houses the National Theatre and the Palace of Fine Arts. There are also universities in Untitled, as well as the headquarters of the People's Bank and five-star hotel Hotel Bas La Cube Santo Domingo. ðoʻmiŋɡo extends from the intersection of Avenida Paseo and Martyrs of the Catholic Monarchs to Calle Padre Bilni in the Colonial Zone. The avenue consists of 3 lanes on a road north-south direction becomes 1 lane to enter the Colonial Zone. This avenue is the main trade route for low-income people throughout the metropolitan area with department stores, restaurants, and shops that offer goods and services at modest prices. In ðoʻmiŋɡo you can find the New Market, the Enriquillo Park, ðoʻmiŋɡo Commercial Square and Chinatown in Santo Domingo. Nicolas de Ovando is located in the northern part of Santo Domingo starting at the roundabout Cristo Rey sector and corner with Ortega y Gasset, Máximo Garcube Mes, Arbor ðoʻmiŋɡo and Thomas Avenues, among others. Culminating in the sector of Cima Cube den Boulevard. This avenue is characterized by many stalls of mechanical parts. Public transportation. Santo Domingo has an underground and elevated rapid transit metro system. It is the most extensive metro in the Caribbean and Central American region by total length and number of stations. The Santo Domingo Metro is part of a major national master plan to improve transportation in the city as well as the rest of the nation. The first line was planned to relieve traffic congestion in the Máximo Garcube Mes and Hermanas Mirabal Avenue. The second line, which opened in April 2013, is meant to relieve the congestion along the ðoʻmiŋɡo Kennedy Centenario corridor in the city from west to east. As of August 2013, the metro consists of these 2 lines. 4 more lines are planned to be constructed in the near future, for a total of 6. Before the opening of the second line, 30,856,515 passengers rode the Santo Domingo Metro in 2012. Airports. Santo Domingo is served by 2 international airports, the main one being Las Armas Copyright Ricas International Airport. The airport has 2 terminals. The newer one, just completed in 2006, added 5 more gates on the northern end of the facility. As of 2010, the airport handled over 3.4 million passengers per year. Las Armas Copyright Ricas is located in Punta Caucedo, 15 km east of the National District on Drive 3. It is serviced by such airlines as Majors JetBlue Airways, Delta Airlines, Iberia, Air France and Cubana de Aviación Cubana as well as smaller ones like Sunrise Airways. The Aeropuerto Internacional Isabella is a secondary, newly constructed airport located in the northern section of the city, within kilometers of the city center. It is not currently used as a major international airport, servicing mostly domestic and charter flights. Seaport. The port of Santo Domingo is located on the Ozama River. Its location at the center of the Caribbean is well suited for flexible itinerary planning and has excellent support, road and airport infrastructure within the Santo Domingo region, which facilitate access and transfers. The port is suitable for both turnaround and transit calls. The port's renovation is part of a major redevelopment project, aimed at integrating the port area and the Zona Colonial and foster a cruise, yacht, and high-end tourism destination. Supported by legislation approved in 2005, the project, developed by the Sansasai Group, also includes the development of a new sports marina and a 122-acre mixed leisure real estate development adjacent to the port. Sports. Baseball. Baseball is the most popular sport in the country. Santo Domingo is home to 2 of the 6 teams in the Dominican Professional Baseball League. Tigres del Licey, founded in 1907, have won 21 national championships since 1951. ITRA is the most senior national team, winning more Caribbean Series games with a total of 10, making the Dominican Republic the country with the greatest amount of Caribbean Series wins. Leones del Escogido, founded in 1921, are winners of 15 national championships since 1951. It is the 3rd team with the most championships won. The team has 4 titles won in the Caribbean Series. These two teams are based in the Estadio Quisqueya located in Widen La Fe. Basketball. Santo Domingo's basketball tournament Superior is held in the National District each year, with several teams participating and representing several sectors and social clubs of the city. Some of the teams participating in the tournament include sports clubs, media. There are 15 television stations in Santo Domingo. Santo Domingo has the greatest number of television signals in the country, followed by Santiago. Additional cable television channels are provided by companies like Asta, Cable TV Dominicana, Sky Dominicana, and Telecable. In Santo Domingo there are 100 different stations in AM frequency and 44 in FM frequency. Television, radio, FM, AM, international relations. Twin towns are sister cities. Santo Domingo has 4 sister cities designated by Sister Cities International. Santo Domingo also has twinning agreements with the following: Gallery. People from Santo Domingo. See also: Captaincy General of Santo Domingo, Ciudad Colonial, Culture of the Dominican Republic, History of the Dominican Republic, Index of Dominican Republic-related articles, List of cities in the Caribbean, List of cities in the Dominican Republic, List of colonial governors of Santo Domingo, Spanish colonization of the Americas, references. Munich, D.W. The Shaping of America, A Geographic Perspective on 500 Years of History. Volume I, Atlantic America, 1492–1800. New Haven, Yale University Press. ISBN 0-300-03882-8, Santo Domingo. Fragmentos de Patria by Banreservas ISBN 99934-898-1-6, external links, Santo Domingo Tourism, an English-language guide to Santo Domingo, La Capital, Ciudad Trujillo in the 1940s, Dominican Explorer Dominican Republic Travel Guide, Dominican Republic Weather Information, Fly Dominican Republic Pilots Guide, Guide to Santo Domingo Zona Colonial.